Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Bromance Wargaming back with another 1500 battle report. This time, Dark Elves versus Lizardmen. Ish. Matt, why is it ish?
Well, on our map, as we talked about in the turn 10, I'm supporting myself, so I have an extra 150 points,
Okay.
which made Dallas cringe every time I kept putting stuff down.
This definitely doesn't look like a 1,600 point list. It looks more like 2,000 at the minimum.
All right, well, let's go over it.
Well, we got Watchtower, and I'll go ahead and go over the terrain as well. This is a river. I found out that it's a river of light.
Okay.
The Harpies here have light of battle, so they're immune to leadership tests for a couple turns.
Nice.
This is a mystery swamp. This is the impassable Necroheron Sphinx that Yoshi loves so much. Some dangerous terrain back here. The ever-present Watchtower. A forest that nobody has decided what it is yet. Another forest that we found out is a blood forest. A blazing bulwark. And a haunted mansion which these skinks are avidly avoiding.
Scared of them ghosts, huh?
So I rolled off and won the Watchtower, and for the first time, I think ever, I deployed a unit in the Watchtower. I had a unit of 20 Corsairs with full command.
Oh, they look painted.
They are. And they are in the Watchtower. That's half of them, and the other half is just hanging out over here. That's not actually a unit. And then from my right to left, I have 10 crossbowmen with a musician. I scouted 10 shades with additional hand weapons. And this is supposed to be adjacent up here, but the tree doesn't come off. So that's where they are. That's where they are.
And that's the Blood Forest.
And that's the Blood Forest. I got 20 Blackguard with the musician. I got 15 Power Dice with full command. And a Hydra.
And why do you call them power dice?
Well, because most of the time Dark Elf players stab them with the sacrificial crutch to get extra Power Dice. Actually, Yoshi and I, just a quick aside, Yoshi and I talked about me modeling one that I always put next to the sorceress that had a dagger sticking out of its chest. You know, just to make sure that, just to set the tone. This is my Cauldron BSB, and these are the 5 Harpies that are amazingly powered up right now.
Excellent. Is that everything for your deployment, sir?
Yep, that's all of my stuff.
All right, let's move over to Lizardmen. 1,500 points. Pathetic.
Yes, I completely agree.
That
All
you're
right.
pathetic.
All right, starting over here is 2 Salamanders, both with extra handlers. This here is 20 Saurus Warriors with full command. The dude with the bat is my champion. On this side is 20 more Saurus Warriors. It has a Scarvet BSB here, and it has a Old Blood, that's my general. And this one has a musician and a standard.
Okay.
Behind it is 10 Skink Skirmishers with a level 2 wizard and a level 1, both of course of heavens. Here is 10 more Skink Skirmishers. Next to it is a group of chameleon skinks. I didn't really have a good place to put it. Put my skirmishers this time. So I usually try to use mine to counteract his shades, and usually do a really good job of it, I think. But this time, with him being in the forest, it's a little bit different, as he's, you know, -2 on all of his all mine to hits because it's skirmishing and soft cover. And over here is 5 other chameleon skinks.
All right. Well, looks like basic deployment. So I guess we'll come back at the end of turn 1. All right, Dallas. End of Lizardmen turn 1. Looks like a heroic effort of dice rolling.
It was a lot of dice rolling. Well, started off, I was charging my main group of Saurus at the building. Needed a 6, got a 5.
Okay.
So they just inched up, you know, being stupid about it. Then I moved everyone else up, moved my main groups of skinks around to go after the shades, moved my salamanders here and here to try to take shots at the building since they fell charged. I could then try to get, you know, take out some wounds before I got there. Then during magic, I had 8 dice. He had 6 plus a channel for 7. I tried Eye Sharp Blizzard on them. The first time, he dispelled it. The second time, I irresistibled and got it through.
Okay.
Since this is a blood forest, it did D6 hits on them, Got 1 through. Woo. Then on the Irresistible, it took out 2 of my skeet skirmishers.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. I was also sort of hoping that with the magic cast that it would move the forest and hopefully out of the way to help give me some better shots, since they're skirmishing and soft cover. But that didn't happen, but it still went pretty well for me.
I'll say, look at that.
Yeah, so after shots from all around, they went down to 4 at the end.
We
from
killed
10.
4 on an 8 with the skink skirmishers, the regular ones.
Yeah, they were boss. They were boss.
Oh yeah, because you single shot it, so brought down to 7s.
Yeah.
And
So
you roll
4 6s,
4 6s, and
4 pluses, and then 4 pluses to wound.
Oh my gosh.
However, over here, we had him misfiring, took out 2 of my handlers.
Okay.
He made it. I got a couple of that were going to hit, and then I rolled all crap on the actual wounds. So didn't do much there.
All right.
But all in all, except for this charge, I'm pretty okay. I'm glad I got those shades out as far as depleted as I did, because they scare me going after trying to get around to my mages back here.
All right. Well, we'll come back at the end of Dark Elf turn 1. All right, gents, we're back with the end of Dark Elf turn 1, and let me just say this is turning out to be quite a shenanigans type game.
Man, this game is going to be decided by the first person to roll adequately.
yes, it is.
We'll go ahead and over here I didn't move these guys. They were going to shoot the chameleon skinks.
Okay.
The Blackguard moved forward aggressively.
Arr.
These guys moved forward to get some spells in range with my level 4. These guys moved out of the way because I knew what I was doing in my magic phase. These guys, they got caught with the net of Ammontok, so they decided they weren't going to move.
Yeah, we're good. We like
so
the
they
river.
Stayed there.
Harpies are playing in the water.
My shades charged the unit of chameleon skinks
That's right here.
that was right there and heroically passed their second leadership 7 test after one got killed by a stand and shoot. In shooting, I did no wounds with these guys to the camo skinks. I told them that they needed to emulate the skink skirmishers, and instead they emulated the salamander and rolled no 4 pluses. So that's fine. They were on 7s. I didn't anticipate a lot of stuff from them, but I was hoping to cause a panic. And then in combat, the shades with 6 hit on 4s, reroll attacks, hit 1 time, and then wounding on a 3.
It was so sad. So sad.
I was thinking, well, at least I'm probably going to have 1 guy left to be steadfast in the forest just to screw with Dallas a little bit. We found out chameleon skinks have weapon skill 2, and so Dallas rolled 6 dice and no 5s came up. So I won by the 1 of the charge. He rolled like combined total on 3 dice like a 16 to try and hold with his cold-blooded leadership of 6 with 5 with the combat res. And so I ran him down when he rolled a 1 and a 2.
Nice.
So my shades at least got something out of their tragic death.
And
They panicked these guys
did.
as well, which I'm hoping they will continue to run, which would make me feel pretty good.
Magic.
The other thing that happened,
Yes.
I gave Killing Blow to this unit of Corsairs in the tower.
And then what happened during your magic? We skipped over that.
Oh, yeah. Well, first I cast Spirit Leech on his general.
Excellent. Is he
let
dead?
it- No, he let it through, and I rolled a 2, which gave me an 11, and he rolled a 6, which gave him a 14.
11.
So nothing happened, but it's going to happen soon. And I cast Power of Darkness to get a couple more dice, and then I cast the Powered Up Purple Sun. And I was really excited, put the template down, stabbed the guy to get an extra power dice because I threw 6 and only got 23. Revealed the Sacrificial Crutch, stabbed a dude, put the template down, and he wisely used his Dispel Scroll to stop it. He didn't want to see a large template of doom go flying through his lines on initiative tests.
Probably not a good idea for any army, especially Lizardmen.
Yeah, initiative 1 Source cried a little bit. But he only has 1 more Dispel item, which
Possibly.
means... Maybe. Which means that it's going off again sometime
Some
soon.
point.
That's right.
Even if you have to chuck 12 dice at it, right?
That's right. I don't have Mind Razor this time, so this time I'm going to win it.
A different crutch.
I'm going to win via a different level 6 spell throwing a bunch of dice at it.
Excellent.
Nope.
All right, we'll come back at the end of Lizardmen turn 2 and see what kind of shenanigans happen. All right, end of turn 2, right?
Turn 2.
Lizardmen turn 2. Tell us what happened, Dallas.
All right. I did some maneuvering. I moved these skinks from over here around up here, thinking they would take out the remaining shades. And as you can tell, they didn't. They only got one. So those shades are some die-hard.
They passed that leadership test again, too.
Yeah. My other skink skirmishers moved up here, and my thought was between them and the two salamanders to take some shots at the power dice block over there. That didn't work too well, as I only got one with the skink skirmishers. One of my salamanders didn't hit with the didn't make it with the flame template. The other one got one or two of them and rolled 2 2s on the wound. So pretty crappy all around there. On my magic, nothing happened. I tried harmonic convergence on these, which are my main group of Saurus that charge the watchtower. What I was thinking is between them, and also just to note, because they have killing blow, I kind of kept my characters away. I was a little iffy about letting my characters die just by one lucky roll. But I kind of clogged up a Hydra charge there. All in all, the combat pretty much just went back and forth. And his killing blow took out my champion, and most of my other characters in the combat didn't quite go as well as I was hoping. I was definitely hoping to take out more out of his spearmen and take out his shades here. My chameleon skinks over here kept running. They, of course, for whatever reason, can't do the cold-blooded 6 to save their life.
I'm excited about that.
And other than that, it's just keeping on going.
All right, we'll come back at the bottom of Dark Elves 2. All right, we are here with the Dark Elves. Matt, why don't you fill us in what happened in bottom of your second?
Yep, bottom of my second. Well, the cauldron moved up. Well, my charges were the Hydra charged the rear of this salamander. My bunker charged the barely in 5 inches skinks. My blackguard charged the flank of that unit of skinks as well. In remaining moves, the cauldron moved up. The Corsairs stayed put. These guys marched to put some pressure over here and maybe swing around later. I forgot to move my shades, and probably the most hilarious thing to happen was I got Barona's time warp from the River of Light on my Harpies, which gave them a movement allowance of 20, which as far as I understand means that they can move 40, hence their current position in Dallas's backfield. In Magic, I threw Spirit Leech at his general and did 2 wounds, and I threw the rest of my dice at Fate of Bajuna at this salamander and did 2 wounds, did 1 to the handler and 1 to him. Shooting, because I didn't move my shades, didn't do anything, but that's alright. In close combat, you can see the Hydra took no wounds and mopped up, actually let me move his handlers, mopped up the salamander. This unit killed 7. He killed my champion in return, and then he held on double 1s.
Good call, Dallas.
The Blackguard killed all of his stuff except for his level 1, and then that unit held on double 1s.
And I would like to note that rerolls were not needed on either of them.
No, those were both first straight up double 1s to make up for the fleeing. What I'm hoping is the continued flight of the chameleon skinks.
I would accept those exchanges.
Yeah. I did some reforming. I overran with the Hydra to keep the Charmander from completing this charge. And I also reformed this unit to put my wizard on the other side, so that even if the Charmander does get completed, he can't kill the wizard. He can't pick the wizard up and kill it. The Blackguards moved over this way more to be able to, if they win this round and overrun, they might hit that flank of the Saurus warriors. And again, the Shades are out of position because I forgot to move them. But that's my turn, and so we're going on to my turn 3, and we'll see what happens.
Dallas' turn 3.
Yes, Dallas' turn 3.
All right, here we go. All right, gents. Let's recap the bottom of 3. Top of 3.
Do I have to?
Yeah. We'll make it brief.
Okay. Let me think here. Didn't really move much. I charged the building with them. Moved them up. Let's see. My command skinks continued to flee. Fled off the board. During Magic, I did an Ice Star Blizzard on them. I got 12, rolled double 6s on the Winds of Magic, threw 6 at Ice Shard, got 3 6s, so it went through. I did the large template, took 7 I think out of them.
Yeah, 7.
And of course my my mage went bye-bye to the Abyss. During combat here, he got, what was it, 20-something?
Yeah, I got 24 hits through.
Out of 31 rolls?
Out of 31.
That's about...
4 up with a reroll. That's
yeah,
not terrible.
That's not terrible.
And then I got 9 killing blows.
Wait, what?
I got 9 killing blows. No other 5s to wound. Just all killing blows.
9 6s.
Yeah, so I...
And then with my 6 remaining, I got 2 through. Woo.
So there are now 14 Corsairs left.
Okay. Slowly dwindling.
Yeah. He took out my one of my guys. I killed one of his, and then I held on the leadership because he was one ahead of me with the standard. And then he reformed here, something I wasn't quite aware of, but he reformed here, and it's probably going to, of course, give me a good fashion butt kicking in the side.
And the reason he reformed is in the combat phase was because he started engaged, correct, Matt?
Yeah. Because by the time the combat phase came, I was no longer engaged.
All right.
So that's it.
That's it.
I'm gonna need all sorts of hugs after this.
A lot of hugs to Dallas and the Lizardmen. All right, we'll come back at the bottom of 3 for Dark Elves. All right, Maticus, tell us what happened at your turn 3.
Well, I put the Hydra into the Lone Skink for a reason that you can probably fathom. I charged these guys, the Blackguard, into the flank of the Saurus. In remaining moves, I moved these guys up, moved the Shades up, moved these guys within 12 of the building. In Magic, I got Doom and Darkness off on the General's unit. I got Spirit Leech on this guy and took 1 wound and a Handler. And he dispelled Fate of Bajuna to finish him off. In shooting, I failed to pick any wounds off with my Shades that needed an 8 to kill to hit this guy, but that was not a big deal. In close combat, of course, the Hydra easily dispatched, and then I reformed these guys. The Hydra's doing his best to block the charge from the Salamander into the my bunker unit. And then over here, I killed. Again, I rolled really well with Killing Blow. I killed.
And where's the Killing Blow coming from again?
My cauldron. My totally not overpowered cauldron. And I got 6 out of the 15 attacks. All 15 hit, did 6 killing blows. So I killed 8 total Saurus. With the charge and the fact that he wasn't steadfast and he had no ranks, he was on double 1s, but he revealed the Crown of Command on his Old Blood.
Good call, Dallas.
So he was stubborn on a 6, which was still sort of dicey, but unlike his Chameleon Skinks, he passed that stubborn 6. And so they made the test to reform, and so now we're going to see if I can killing blow like a beast his characters this round.
Well, you're running about 40% on 6s, so
Yeah,
I think,
if I run out of
it's
6,
only slightly above average.
yeah, if I run out of 6s this time, that Blackguard unit's going to be gone. And I made a gamble that these guys could hold out for this turn against the 6 Saurus Warriors. By giving the killing, but the killing blow was a good idea for the
Probably
Blackguard. And my crossbowmen trying their hardest to get somewhere.
Get in.
Maybe they'll finish up somebody.
You should go party with the shades.
You know what? I'm hoping that they end up in the tower at the end of the game for some random reason. No, the crossbowmen. I'm hoping the crossbowmen.
That would be pretty cool.
The shades, I'm glad that they're alive and keeping their points.
See the carnage a little bit over here.
Yep.
4 Lizardmen. But hey, a quirple dice makes everything better.
Yes, fact. Well, I guess this is turn 4.
Yes.
So stuff can start going bad starting now, because at the end of this turn.
It's 3.
End of 3. So at the end of start.
Yeah,
turn
this
4.
is the start of
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
Is the turn coming up? Is what I'm saying. So this is the turn where.
Well, be
things
more
can
clear,
start.
Matt. Jeez.
This is the turn where stuff can start going bad, because at the end of this next turn I can
roll
if
a
I'm still
6.
in the tower. If I roll a 6, which I'm really good at,
you gotta.
rolling a 6.
Yeah. For you, it's a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah. Well, you know, even when I play with Chris in other games, he always rolls the 6 too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a long time since a Watchtower game has gone past turn 4 with me playing it.
You know that's true. Whether
So-
for or against you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. So apparently, it's going to end on turn 4. But anyway, this is turn 4 coming up.
All right. Well, as a little cat tears up my leg, Mr. Dallas, General Dallas, what's going on over here?
I don't know. After this one, I might be demoted. I don't know. Maybe around staff sergeant or corporal.
Well,
crap.
I don't think you can get
But-
demoted for somebody rolling 15 6s.
But anyway, combat. I charged my 6 Saurus here.
All right.
Continued with the combat here.
Okay.
My salamander moved around to take a shot at the spearman and the mage over there. I got, I think, 3 out of the spear over there.
Out of the Corsairs?
No, out of the spearman.
Oh,
4.
4.
Then here he took.
I took
2
2.
2 out of me. I took 3.
1. You rolled really badly.
Yeah. Well, that's been my MO this game.
That's true.
Over here, this combat, he completely killing blowed my general. I ended up winning the combat, but he was steadfast, so he stuck around, and that's been the way it's going.
Anything else? Pretty much it?
Yeah,
You
pretty much
dispelled.
it.
You dispelled the.
Yeah, dispel the
remains
doom
of
and
plague,
darkness.
doom and darkness.
Pretty much what I'm hoping for really is to take these guys out and be able to turn them around and hit the tower. That's about the only way I've got a shot here.
Okay. Hey, it's a shot. All right, we'll come back to the bottom of 4 and see what happens.
All right.
All right, bottom of 4, Matt. What's going on?
Well, my Corsairs abandoned the building. My general's unit reformed and entered the building.
Okay.
These guys are sitting at like 12.5 inches away from the Saurus in case they won. I was thinking they couldn't overrun, but then it didn't occur to me that they can't overrun anyway because they've been in combat forever. The Shades are set up to charge in the flank. My Hydra charged. This unit of Saurus, they fled. Now they need double 1s to rally.
Okay.
Rerollable double 1s.
Until I killing blow your BSV. Because that didn't happen this round either. I am just barely out of reroll range. Luckily my Blackguard held on their stubborn 10. The Harpies charged the flank or rear of the Salamander, and they did an amazing 3 wounds, which it only had 1 left, so they just killed it. And then in Magic, I got 10 dice. I rolled 4 at Doom and Darkness, and he let me have it, and then I just stopped my Magic phase because I didn't want to cast anything else.
Yeah.
So I've got the Crossbowmen and the Shades going to try and hold up this unit here until I can win by holding the tower with 6 dudes. So we'll see how that works.
This is the roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
for
roll
the game. Get a 6.
If I get a 6, the game ends.
Let's see if we can't get there.
Nope.
Nope. It's
a 3. To turn 5.
Okay.
Hey, this is the first for me in a while.
This is, and you know what? I sense a rally from the Lizardmen.
They got 1 unit, so it's going to be a heck of a rally.
But you know what? He only needs 1 unit to take the watchtower.
Exactly, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
All right, Sir Dallas, that was an incredibly short turn.
Well, what do you expect? What do I got? I got nothing here.
You got thunder in the background and some lightning.
Yeah.
So they doesn't look like they rallied.
No, they did not do the double roll 1 thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to speak. English I speak not well.
What?
And they ran the Saurus, were able to take out the remaining Blackguard, thank goodness, and reformed towards the tower.
Okay.
With hopes of taking out the tower next turn.
All right, I think you can do it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only chance, and hope he doesn't roll a 5 at the end of his turn.
We'll see what happens. And you dispelled the remaining play spell.
Yeah, that's right. The Doom and Darkness.
Doom and Darkness. All right, we'll come back at the end of 5. We'll see what happens. All right, Matt. Let's go over bottom of 5. What happened?
Well, I'm actually kind of upset at myself. There were no charges. I abandoned the building with this unit that was in it. Which is what I'm upset about. I'm not sure with his Saurus still on the table that I'm necessarily winning by VPs. I might be winning, but I'm not sure I'm massacring. But now that I look at it, he's only got the Blackguard, so I'm probably doing pretty well. The Corsairs turned to face the building. The goal was if his Saurus block was still there, I was going to killing blow them and throw them at the tower on my last, on next turn to push them out. Pretty much everybody else just moved on up. I actually forgot to move the Harpies, which is dumb because I should have moved them closer to try and push people off. In shooting, I made the mistake of firing the Hydra's breath weapon first, which killed 4 of the Saurus, which is good. But when they ran out of range of my other shooters, which is why I should have probably shot with them first.
Gotcha.
The reason they ran is because in Magic I got Doom and Darkness through. And I also put a wound on his BSB with Fate of Bajuna. But that was it. He stopped Spirit Leech on the BSB. And so his unit ran from the Hydra, causing them a panic test. And so this is the bottom of 5. Which means that on a 5-up, we end the game. Nope.
All right.
All right. This should be pretty. This should be pretty quick. We may actually just do Dallas's 6 and then my 6, and then
recap it at the end. All right. Well, we'll come back at the bottom of 6.
Yep.
All right, Matt. Bottom of 6. It was pretty quick. Let's go over quickly what happened on Dallas's turn. Dallas.
Okay. I rallied them.
Excellent.
I did not rally them.
Not as excellent.
They kept fleeing.
That's okay. They didn't flee far.
I dispelled Doom and Darkness.
That seems to be a recurring theme.
And that was it.
Okay.
That was all.
Matt's turn 6.
Put Killing Blow on the Corsairs as a precaution.
Okay.
Moved them into the tower.
Okay.
Shuffled these guys around a little bit. Left these guys out of the tower. Almost moved the Hydra directly into my fire lanes with the crossbowmen. Turned the shades around. In Magic, I cast Spirit Leech on his BSB with I got a 17 on 4 dice. With 7 dice or 6 dice, he tried to dispel it and failed. But I rolled a 5 and he rolled a 6, which is exactly what he needed to stay alive.
Wow.
Staying alive. Then I cast Doom and Darkness, which again is a recurring theme. And I shot at them and did no wounds.
They are in the building.
Yeah, these are the guys that are in the building. And that's pretty much it. I'm about to roll on a 4-up. The game ends.
And it
keeps
going.
keeps going to turn 7.
Oh, we'll see you guys
never
at
end.
the bottom of 7.
Yeah.
All right,
3.
Monsieur Dallas.
Yeah.
All right, your 7 was again pretty quick. You fail charged, right?
Yeah, I was trying to charge the building. It didn't happen.
Need a 9, got a 7.
Um,
And I think that was, and then you didn't rally.
Did not rally.
All right.
That was it. I dispelled Doom and Darkness.
You did.
It's back, but that's beside the point. Yeah. I did it.
And then Matt's turn.
I gave Killing Blow to the Shades because the BSB was on the edge facing them. That would have been a flank charge. They would have had 4 attacks that hit on 4s with the reroll and Killing Blow. So that was that. He fled. I charged with the Harpies. They fled some more. I charged his still fleeing unit of Swords who had fled so many moons ago. With the Hydra, they actually fled off the board. These guys, his last unit with the BSB are still on. They rolled pretty high for their flee distance. Although it should be noted that the Shades tried really hard to catch. They rolled an 11. If they had got the double 6s, they actually would have caught them. Crazy. And I rolled for Doom and Darkness. I rolled like 11 power dice. I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to roll Doom and Darkness. I decided, because nothing else was in range, I couldn't have cast anything else. So he had 6 dice to throw at him. And I thought, I'm not going to roll 11 dice. I could cascade my wizard, kill my wizard, you know.
Yeah.
Off chance I could panic that unit, even with the 10 rerollable. Not worth it. And then I thought, no, I really need Doom and Darkness, so I threw 4 dice at it, which was stupid because if I was going to throw any dice at it, I was accepting the chance of a miscast. I should have just thrown all 11 to guarantee it. I got the miscast on 4 dice. She killed everybody that's not a member of the command. Since this is really not that important anymore, it's just her, the BSB, and the musician hanging out here. She's probably not going to stab anybody else since she needs that musician to be leadership 10. Or that standard bearer to be leadership 10. And that was my turn. So this is on a 3-up. The game stops, and I think we both want the game to stop. I think it's pretty obvious. Who's going to win this? But in the interest of fairness, it's a 1.
It's a 1. All right. Well, we'll either come back with the bottom of 8 or the recap.
Yeah.
Face.
All right. Real quick. Dallas's turn 8. He rallied.
Thank you.
Dispelled
Doom and
Darkness again. And for the record, Doom of Darkness needs a casting value of 10. He got 10 power dice on his wins, so we didn't even have him roll because it's guaranteed with 10 ones. Matt decided to move his Shades back 10 inches to get him out of charge arc just in case. He bypassed his magic for fear of losing everything. And couldn't do anything else, so we going straight to the...
I in fact moved the Shades 10 inches back and then declared that my turn was over.
So bottom of 8, what do you need? A 2?
I need a 2.
Alright, anything but a 1, gents.
Yes!
Yes! End of the game. Bottom of turn 8. That is a 4-hour-long game. It's about a quarter to midnight here.
It's about 3 hours. No,
3 and a
less
half.
than 3. Well, we didn't get started until after 8.
I guess that's true. Okay, so about a 3.5 hour game.
Felt that long.
It did feel that long. Let's, while we're here, go over thoughts. Let's start with Dallas. Dallas, walk us through your thoughts. Your surviving unit of awesomeness. Well, we'll start with Matt then.
Okay. Watchtower, I think, really favors a Dark Elf army with the Cauldron.
I think any scenario favors a Dark Elf army with the Cauldron.
That's true. The Cauldron is... The Cauldron really proved to me... I heard online or I read online, I should say, somebody say that the Cauldron was better than Shadow Magic for the Dark Elves. Like, if they could choose one, they would pick the Cauldron every time over Shadow Magic. And I always thought that was dumb, because, come on, Mindraiser, and the Withering, the Enfeebling Foe, and Miasma and Pit. I mean, Shadow Magic is so versatile, and it adds everything to Dark Elves. But, I mean, I didn't use Shadow Magic, I used Lore of Death. A lot of times I didn't have a whole lot of spells that were useful. I mean, I tried to snipe, and Dallas did a good job either outrolling me or dispelling what he needed to, even without wizards. And so really it came down to the Cauldron to give me the killing power. And by crikey, the killing blow really made a difference.
15.
I killing blowed probably...
Well, a lot more than 15. But...
I killing blowed 15 in 2 turns.
Yes.
I probably killing blowed 30 of his people. And out of 40 Saurus, you know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
30 may have been excessive, but at least 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe as much as 25, but it was ridiculous. The Hydra did really well with his breath weapon, which is the first time I think I've used it as an actual breath weapon. The Shades, after a dismal start of getting shot to crap in the first turn before they could even move, although even with all that protection, did really well. Those two are the two that ran down some chameleon skinks, scared off another unit of chameleon skinks, and you know, just went running amok. The Blackguard I thought did really well, even though they eventually lost to the Saurus, but they lost to Saurus with 2 characters, and they were already depleted at that point, and they had already killed some skinks. The Harpies I didn't do much with, but I didn't need a whole lot of redirecting this game. The tower did a lot of redirecting for me because Dallas kept having to try and assault it. Probably my MVP, guaranteed the Cauldron. Probably my least valuable player was these crossbowmen over here. The only thing that they did all game was keep the chameleon skinks from coming in my backfield, which is actually pretty important when I'm running a bunker. But they failed to cause a single wound the entire game. They didn't charge anything, they didn't cause a wound, they just marched around and...
They saved you 105 points.
Yep, they saved me 105 points.
All right, Dallas, have you been able to collect some thoughts?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. You know, I think it really was a fear of the killing blow early on that kept me from doing as what I was planning. My plan was to send my main group, which had the general and the BSB, at the tower, get in the tower, and then hold it. And just, you know, hold on for dear life. And use my other Saurus more to kind of help block and some redirects and so forth. And when the killing blow came, it pretty much just made me, you know, really fearful of sending that group in. And that's really, that did it. The other thing was really when those Shades attacked my command skinks here and ran them off, and then my other group over here ran, it really just kind of took out everything I was planning to do over here. And from that point, it was just all downhill. That was really, to me, was kind of the pivotal point, because I lost this whole front. I lost, you know, command skinks being able to try to get in to do anything back there, and that was really the pivotal point to me, was when that happened and my unit started running off.
Yeah.
I also made a mistake and allowed the Blackguard to charge my skink skirmishers. I didn't see that. I didn't think it was as close as it was. He still needed like a 7, but it was, I thought it was further out than that. So it was just a lot of poor play on my part. Killing blow being an absolute ass.
In fairness to you and your fears, Dallas, I want to interrupt and say that in a building, I can throw 5 people on a single model,
Right.
which meant that the Corsairs had 15 attempts to killing blow each of your characters. And since they were steadfast on a 10 re-rollable in the building, it was really probably for the best that you didn't put the characters in
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that was, I mean, I didn't want to at that point.
there. Yeah. But I say that to say that I think that you probably did the right thing.
Yes, but
It was
Once
kind
that
of a
happened-
lose-lose
yeah.
situation.
once that happened, I was kind of out of it. As far as an MVP, good grief, I don't know. Maybe my dispelling.
Your Battle Standard Bearer did a heck of a job withstanding killing blow and
Yeah.
snipe spells, so that's something. But yeah, your dispelling was pretty cagey.
My worst units were my salamanders. They really didn't do anything.
That's
I had like 2 misfires, maybe 3, and I think I killed 2 people with them. So it was really not a whole lot. They did block the Hydra some, which was good, but other than that, they were pretty. I mean, 160 points. That didn't do much to jack. So yeah, I think it was, like I said, it was fear of the killing blow, losing this flank early on, not being able to go from there, and getting the blackguard into my skeet skirmishers. That took out pretty much everybody but my level 1 mage that first combat.
Yeah. All right. Victory goes to Dark Elves.
Ready?
Yeah, good game, dude.
Shake. And hopefully we won't have many more 8-turn games. We will probably have a High Elf Ogre game next if we can swing that. I think that's the next one on the board.
Yep.
So until then, Bromance Wargaming signing off.